vroom, vroom, let's go get car number 3. He's out of gas. Vroom, vroom. That was a little hurdle we had there for a week or two. It has been so good. Hey guys, how are you all doing? We are just going to be chatting today about homeschool because we've been homeschooling for 6 weeks now, and I've gotten a couple questions. You guys are interested in what we're doing, what it looks like, and whatnot. So I'm going to kind of give you a little overview of what we've been doing, what's been working, what hasn't been working, and how I'm feeling about everything. I'm going to awkwardly be standing and probably swaying because this poor guy, I think, is teething. He's just been a hot mess. He has not been napping very well, and I want to do everything I can to make sure he gets a good nap so he's not grumpy all day long. So, So our toddler just turned 3 last week, actually, and we've been reading books, learning through play, all of that since day 1, really. But now that he's at preschool age, we wanted to have a more structured learning time in our day. By the way, there's a gnat flying around. It's really irritating me, but just disregard that, please. So every day I've been planning for like 20 to 30 minutes in the morning to do homeschool. And honestly, it has been so good. It has been so good. He's a very hands-on, active guy, so I was kind of worried he wasn't gonna wanna sit down and do school every day, but we haven't had a problem. Honestly, he's been asking me to do more school. So I planned for that 20 to 30 minutes, and I did notice, especially at the beginning, at that 20-minute mark, his attention span was like done. He was just done, which was totally fine. But later on in the day, he would ask me if we could do more. My response is always, school is done for the day, but we can do a puzzle or we can read a book. And we normally would do one of those 2 things. Now, more recently, I do notice we've hit that 30-minute mark and he's like, what's next? What's next? So I kind of have a couple activities on the back burner normally, just sitting there kind of waiting if he wants to do more. And I either do one of those or just repeat something that we already did that day or that week if he was interested in it. A couple of you have asked what curriculum I'm using, and I'm actually kind of making it up as I go along. I'm doing that for a couple reasons. The first reason, it's preschool. It's not that serious. Like, some people don't ever go to preschool. I feel like I can handle that myself, but the number one reason, honestly, is that I can tailor it to what he's interested in. So if we're counting, we can count bugs. If we're going to be learning the letter A, a lot of the curriculums do apples, which he likes apples, but do we need to spend a full week on apples? No, we don't. He would prefer to, maybe we'll bake an apple pie or something. He would definitely prefer alligators or astronauts or something along those lines, so I can just create little lessons, crafts, whatever, around different things. So we're learning the same concept, just making it themed to what he likes. Like, it's Halloween right now, and every single thing has been Halloween that we've been doing, and he has been loving it. But if I was doing a curriculum, nothing would be Halloween, and I'd just be sprinkling in a couple things here and there. So I think it's really honestly worked out. Yes, it is a little bit of extra work, but I am enjoying it. So I think it's kind of like to each their own in that department. Obviously, when he gets a little older, we will start curriculums, and I've heard great things about The Good and the Beautiful, which I'm going to be looking into. That's the only one that I can think off the top of my head. But I just honestly haven't done too much research with that so far. But for the first little section of this school year, I'm keeping it really basic. I'm not gonna lie. We have just been doing colors, shapes, counting 1 to 10, and then kind of just like getting the hang of homeschool, which I'll explain in a minute. But as far as colors, he knew his basic colors, but we added in like light versus dark, just things that we haven't really touched on yet. We also cleaned up the iffiness around like gray and silver, white, brown, and black. He kind of didn't really know because a lot of the kids' songs and toys are all the rainbow colors. So we just kind of buttoned up those. He already knew basic shapes, but we added in things like the diamond. Rectangle was kind of hard. He would call them squares sometimes. So we cleaned all that up. And then we now know 1 to 10. He could count to 10 pretty much, which is funny because he could count to 10 with Dad, but with me, he couldn't. He would pretend like he didn't know what he was doing. So that was a little hurdle we had there for a week or two. He would pretend like he didn't know with me. I used humor, which is my friend's idea. kind of be silly with it, or I could pretend that I knew what I was doing but actually did it incorrect and he could correct me. Those are some suggestions my friend who's a teacher gave me, and those did work. But I think the number one thing that worked in that scenario was just like doing songs and things. He would interact more with those fun things, and he wouldn't think about, oh, I'm gonna trick mom, I can't count to 10. We would just be singing a song, and I would pause and he'd fill in the number. Does that make sense? I don't even know. So obviously those 3 things don't really need September to December to do, which I did on purpose. I want him to enjoy homeschool. I don't want him to be frustrated. I wanted him to just want to do it. I didn't want it to be a struggle every day. And thankfully it hasn't been. He's been asking. So it's the opposite of a struggle. But not just enjoying homeschool, but I wanted to get like the basics down, like gluing, practicing cutting, just following simple directions. Like he can follow directions like, let's go brush your teeth and then go to bed, like things like daily life. But let's trace the circle. He's never had to do that. Let's match the squares. Let's color all the triangles yellow. He's never had to do anything along those lines, like strictly. So I will make sure that I write the directions at the top of the page. That's been a little trick, especially in that couple weeks where he was kind of, I don't want to say defiant, because he wanted to do school and he wanted to do well, but he was kind of like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And I'm going to pretend like I don't know how. If I write the directions and I say, match the bugs, and I point to the words, he'll do a little more freely by himself. If I didn't write it, I noticed he was like, why? Why are we doing this? It's like, those are the directions. That's what we're doing. That's the activity. Go away, Nat. I'm so over this, Nat. But as far as what that 20 to 30 minutes actually looks like, it's a lot of play. We do sit here and do some like workbook type stuff at the table, but it's a lot of sensory bins or games. So for example, we played floor is lava with shapes. So I just cut out shapes from felt, and I'd say, oh, floor is lava, you can only step on a yellow circle, and he'd run to the yellow circle. That was a hit. That was a hit. Sensory bins, we've done some like Halloween ones mainly. If you guys want to know like specific activities we're doing, head over to Little Learning Bookworms. That's my toddler learning account, and I'm pretty much sharing what we're doing in homeschool over there. Just not everything we do, but the I don't know, more exciting things that people want to see. And then we're also doing like different songs and finger plays and whatnot. I got this felt board off Amazon, and I'm so happy I did. At first I was like, will I use it? But I really have. We've done, I've only done 3 so far. We've done, are you waking up? We've done the shape monster. So I cut out shapes, and it's like a little rhyme. It's shape monster, munch, munch, munch. I want a rectangle for my lunch. And then he was like, eat the rectangle. And you can do that with anything. So like if you're learning the letter A, you can put things that start with the letter A. Or whatnot. So, because it could be a letter monster, munch, munch, munch. And then the other day we had a jack-o'-lantern, and you can like turn it sad, and I had a mad face, an angry face, a worried face. And then today we did 5 little bats. So 5 little bats flying through the door. 1 flew away, and then there were 4. This guy's awake and wiggly, but anyway. I also would pull toys that I knew went with what we were learning. So like when we were learning to recognize the numbers 1 through 4, I pulled out the Melissa and Doug tow truck because the cars on there have 1 through 4. And instead of being like, this is 2, this is 3, I'd say, vroom, vroom, let's go get car number 3. He's out of gas, vroom, vroom. And we find number 3. So I try to make it fun and do a lot of playing, but we do some like workbook type things. So this is a little learning journal thing. Starting out super simple, day 1, we just glued and matched shapes. Like I said, he knew most of these, but he's just learning how to glue and match things up, and following directions. So match the bugs. He loved this one. He asked me to do that again, and I actually redrew that and did it again. 1 through 3, So I'm not gonna go through all of these, but he actually really enjoys the workbook type stuff. All the stickers fell off, I don't know why, but we just put one sticker by 1, 2, 3, you know, etc. And then I had dot stickers. Since he can't write yet, he could identify one and put it with the 1 star with the dot sticker instead of writing the number 1. So I don't need to show you guys all of these. If you want a video on like this stuff and just showing you, I can. But this video, I just wanted to chit chat and like explain what we're doing, because people were just asking like the gist of it. This though, I gotta show you really quick because I was so happy. This is put a face on the pumpkin, and while he like scribbles and stuff and colors, he hasn't like specifically said like this is a person and draw the person. It's more like that's a dinosaur, that's a circle, you know? So I originally presented this to him and he would not draw a face unless there's a body. So I put the body, and then he's like, no, it needs 10 toes. So we had to draw 10 toes and 10 fingers. Once that was done, this little guy woke up. I left the room for just a minute to get him, and I come back and there's this face. And I'm like, oh, cool, you know, show me what it is. And I was so excited because the first time I think he really thought about it and was like, I am drawing this, not now it's that. Does that make sense? I don't even know if that makes sense. I'm trying to hurry now that this guy's up. Anyway, he says, yeah, Mom, this is an eye, and this is an eye, which I clearly can see 2 sets of circles. And he says, this is the mouth, and then the eyebrows. Like they have eyebrows. I was not expecting him to put eyebrows on the face. So I was super pleased, and I think that is great for his age. 2, well, I guess he's 3 now, just turned 3. I thought that was great. So we probably do maybe 3 of these type of things a week. And then we also do crafts that pertain to color, shapes, numbers, whatever we're learning about. One thing though that I found has really helped is always starting at the table. So like today, all we were doing is a sensory bin. It's a super cute Halloween one. He was obsessed with it. It's a, like making different witches potions. And so I had little recipe cards and we had to read it. It would say 2 pumpkins and we'd add 2 pumpkins into the cauldron. He loved it, literally played forever. But I knew I wanted to start at the table to start school time, to start that structured or more structured play learning, because that sensory bin's gonna be out for a couple days. But anyway, we started at the table. I had nothing planned. I just pulled out a paper. We wrote 1 to 10 and we did 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, shut the door. And then we just wrote his name. Obviously I'm doing all of this, but I'm just saying this is a W, you know, these letters make your name. These letters are your name, you know, essentially right now. I love you too. You need to eat, don't you? Yeah, you need to eat. Anyway, I'm sure I missed stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Just a chit-chatty about homeschool. Ah, I know. Gosh, I feel like I'm all over the place in this video, like I said. But I just remembered I wanted to say that that little bit of structure in the morning has helped his behavior, has helped just honestly everything. I don't know if it's because he gets that one-on-one time right in the morning or what. Because he gets one-on-one time. Like I'm really try to do that as best I can. But having it right in the morning, maybe it's extra helpful. His attention span has gotten better. And then also just for me, having that routine, I don't know why. Maybe it's having like something to do, like, oh God, I have to do this right now before we go somewhere. I used to struggle to get out the door, get 2 kids, myself, the bag, everything ready by, 9:30 to meet someone for a 10 a.m. play date. Now I'm like, we're all dressed and ready, we're fed, school's done, and we have 30 minutes. How? I don't know. Maybe it's just a mindset thing, like we have things to do. The day is started. Also, William, I think like his day starts because school started, so he's not just like lollygagging playing. It's like, no, breakfast, homeschool, the day has begun, and he's not lollygagging. We like somehow make it out the door easier. So I don't know, thought I'd throw that in there. But we're gonna go feed this guy, huh? We're gonna go feed this guy. And I'll see you guys all next week.